The story kicks off late one night in a Las Vegas hotel room. A young woman named Hazel King quietly gets dressed, fixes her face in the mirror, and then walks over to the man she was just with. He's lying dead on the bed, his throat sliced open. Jump ahead 20 years. Hazel now runs a little roadside diner in a sleepy California town. One morning, her cook Javier complains that the dishwasher hasn't shown up again. A local cop, Officer Navarro, is finishing his food and tries to pay, but Hazel waves him off. She never charges him, saying favors like that might get her quick help one day. Her daughter, Joy, who's 19, doesn't like it. She thinks her mom's too soft, but Hazel insists kindness can be useful. The mood changes when Hazel spots Joy's boyfriend, Travis, hanging around. Hazel clearly doesn't trust him. Later, Joy asks if she can dip into her college savings so she can move in with Travis. Hazel shoots that idea down immediately, calling him bad news and urging Joy to break things off. Joy pushes back, arguing her mother's wrong, and finally storms out saying she'll figure things out herself. Not long after, a scruffy man named Elliot Morgan eats at the diner but admits he can't pay. Joy quickly calls him a scammer, but Hazel steps in. After finding out he's homeless and realizing she needs a dishwasher anyway, she offers him the job and a cot in the storeroom. Meanwhile, Travis pressures Joy for money, insisting it belongs to her. She promises she'll come up with it somehow. That night, Joy argues with her mom about hiring a homeless guy, saying it's risky. She points out she's been with Travis for 2 years, wants to marry him, and that Hazel needs to accept it. She even brings up the college money again, asking to borrow it, but Hazel refuses. Later, when Joy sneaks off to meet Travis in his car, she tells him she'll get the money. She even half-jokes about them running off and marrying now, maybe as her mom's gift. The next day, Hazel notices Joy come into the diner wearing sunglasses. When she pulls them off, she finds a bruise on her daughter's face. Furious, Hazel leaves Javier in charge and storms out. At home, she pulls a hidden gun and papers from under her bed and drives off. She finds Travis hanging around a repair shop, smoking and joking with a mechanic. When Hazel tells him to talk in her car, he mocks her crudely. Without hesitation, Hazel smashes him in the throat, kicks him hard, and drops him. When the mechanic jumps in, she sprays him with pepper spray. With Travis dazed and bleeding, Hazel whips out her gun and demands he get in her car. When he refuses, she fires a shot right next to his head. Shaken, he obeys. She tosses his phone, ties him up, and shoves him into her trunk. Hazel drives deep into the Nevada desert to a pre-dug grave. She kicks him in and explains she dug it the day they met, because she always knew he'd hurt Joy eventually. She rips the tape from his mouth and throws his earlier words back at him. Are you a screamer, a moaner, or already dead? Travis cries, begs, and screams for his life. A gunshot echoes, and Hazel drives off, leaving the grave behind. The next morning, Joy texts Travis but gets no reply. When she asks Hazel, her mom calmly says he left town for good after a fight. Joy doesn't buy it, warning that Travis's family are dangerous criminals who won't just let this go. Hazel stays cool, saying it's better he's gone and promising she'll always protect her. She makes Joy repeat their little mantra. He raises a hand, I raise a fist. He raises a fist, I raise a gun. Hazel calls it their survival rule. Soon after, Hazel spots a man secretly snapping photos of Elliot in the diner. She confronts him, but he brushes it off as just a hobby and leaves quickly. Elliot looks shaken. That night, after a nightmare, Elliot steps outside for air and runs into Hazel. When she asks about the man, Elliot pretends he knows nothing. Later, Hazel catches another stranger staking out the diner. She follows him to a motel, sneaks into his room, and knocks him out. When the man wakes, he's staring down the barrel of Hazel's gun. He admits he's a freelance reporter digging into Elliot's past. He reveals Elliot once killed his girlfriend in a drunk driving crash, served 4 years for manslaughter, and had been a famous heart surgeon before it all fell apart. He even shows Hazel a news article as proof. Hazel warns him never to come back, then leaves. The next day, Hazel finds Joy crying over Travis. She tries to comfort her, but Joy pushes her away and storms out. Outside, Hazel runs into an old acquaintance, Phil, who tells her that Fawn, her old boss, is getting out of prison and wants to see her in Vegas. That night, Joy is hanging out with friends and about to do drugs when Officer Navarro steps in and takes her home. Hazel thanks him for looking out for her daughter. The next morning at breakfast, Hazel tells Elliot she paid that reporter a visit, the same one Elliot claimed not to know. She shows him the files the man had. Elliot finally explains, Years back, he operated on that reporter's father, who died on the operating table. Ever since then, that reporter has been hell-bent on revenge, digging up every bit of dirt he can to ruin Elliot. After hearing the whole story, Hazel asks him to do her a favor, keep an eye on Joy for the night and call her if anything happens. She tells him she's heading to Vegas but promises to be back by morning. That evening, Hazel walks into a flashy jewelry shop in Vegas. After clearing security, she finally comes face-to-face with her old boss, Vaughn, who greets her like family. It's been 2 decades since they last saw each other. He reminds her of when he found her as a messed-up 15-year-old, homeless and hooked on heroin. He took her in, straightened her up, and trained her to be a killer who never missed a job. After some nostalgic talk, he cuts to business. He wants her back. His target is a man named Perry Gamble, and Vaughn insists that Hazel is the only one who can get close enough to him. Hazel refuses, saying she's retired and out of practice. But when Vaughn slyly mentions her daughter and drops hints about Travis's disappearance, the threat forces Hazel's hand. She reluctantly agrees. Later that night, Hazel returns to her diner. Elliot is surprised to see her sitting in the dark, alone. He joins her, and they share a drink, his first since the accident. Hazel apologizes and finally opens up about her life, the addiction, Vaughn saving her, and how he controlled her for years. The honesty pulls them closer, and the two end up sleeping together. The following night, Hazel heads to a Vegas casino. She deliberately bumps into Perry, who is surprised but happy to see her. He invites her up to his private suite. While he rambles about business, Hazel slyly spikes his drink. Just before he takes a sip, Perry brings up their past, how she vanished after they spent the night together years ago, and confesses he still has feelings for her. That shakes Hazel. She quickly takes the drink from him and kisses him instead. A knock at the door interrupts. Perry steps out, and Hazel hides the glass. When he returns, he says he has to meet his biggest investor. Before leaving, they share another kiss and agree to meet again. Meanwhile, at the jewelry shop, it's revealed Elliot has secretly been working for Vaughn, feeding him info the whole time. Back at the diner, Officer Navarro drops in and casually mentions that cases of missing teenage girls are climbing in the area. Hazel asks Javier if he's noticed anything, but he says no. Navarro tells her to call him if she spots anything suspicious. Not long after, Phil shows up and chats with Hazel. He warns her Perry will be leaving town soon, and if she wants Joy safe, she needs to act fast. Hazel insists she's never failed a mission. That night, Hazel looks in on her sleeping daughter, then stops by Elliot's room. She tells him she's off to Vegas for one last job and asks him to watch Joy. Elliot begs her not to go, but she says she has no choice. As soon as she leaves, Elliot updates Vaughn. Meanwhile, Perry receives an envelope from the hotel bellman. Inside is a photo of Joy and a note from Hazel claiming she's their daughter. Perry is thrilled until his wife walks in. Thinking fast, he pretends the dinner setup was for her. But Hazel never actually goes to Perry. Instead, she heads straight to Vaughn's base. Silently, she slices down the front guard with a karambit knife. Vaughn, watching on the security feed, orders Phil to take care of her. Hazel ambushes Phil and kills him. Then, moving deeper inside, she spots Vaughn's reflection in a mirror, gun in hand. Anticipating his shot, she fires first, hitting him in the chest. Wounded, Vaughn tries to rattle her, revealing that Elliot has been his mole all along. Hazel doesn't even flinch. She coldly calls him dad before putting a bullet straight between his eyes. Covered in blood, Hazel heads back home, quietly checks on Joy, and washes up. The next morning, she passes Elliot at the diner without even acknowledging his greeting, leaving him puzzled. Later, while getting ready, she gives Joy a tight hug before work. But just as Joy is about to leave, she hears something faint. Turning around, she sees Travis, alive, bloody, and signaling her to stay quiet. Joy quickly masks her reaction, casually asking Hazel for the car keys, pretending she's going out with friends. Hazel keeps working at the diner until she realizes Javier has disappeared. She tells Elliot they'll talk later and steps outside. There she sees a man viciously beating Javier. Hazel jumps in and takes him down in a brutal fight. But before she can recover, another man tries to snatch a teenage girl nearby. Hazel races to stop him, but the first attacker pulls a gun and shoots her multiple times. As Hazel collapses, the men throw Javier and the girl into a van and speed off. Elliot runs to Hazel, desperately pressing on her wounds, trying to keep her alive.